people are responding to you?
It was, well, hello Tim, and hello Magpie, and hello Viren, and bonjour Hagdal. Well done, Ozadiah. Where was the thing? So I think that...
Oh my.
Now, Graham had said he fixed it.
Yes, and he even showed a little...
Yeah, but it's not... There are buttons on here that... Oh, collapse! Yes! There we go. Okay.
You just don't know how to use websites.
No, I don't know how to use websites. There's so many buttons and knobs and sounds and... Hey, Jake.
Oh my gosh.
Jake, I want you to know that I read the third thing that you posted most recently, and I wanted to emote, I get it.
But he can't figure out what emoji would do that.
I don't think there is one.
I should draw one. It could be a LangTime reaction.
How would it look?
I don't know. Maybe a mouse saying,
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta stop just drawing mice.
Here, I want to take a look. There, yeah. See, now, I mean, you can barely see it, but like now the results will be in frame at all time. That's wonderful. That's perfect.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you once again to Graham.
Yeah. Okay.
Who is, as ever, amazing.
Yes, indeed.
Also, you want to know what else is exciting?
What?
A year ago, well, really, it's a year ago tomorrow, but July 8th was a Thursday a year ago, and it was the first time we streamed from one room.
Wow. Holy smoke.
So that's exciting.
Oh my! Have you ever seen? This is Mate's comment. Have you ever seen? What was it? IT Crowd. Board game. You can do that for LangTime.
Just over and over again.
Oh.
Okay. But hey, he ended up getting a hit from that, you know? People liked it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So, are we ready for the poll?
Always.
All right. So let's go over it real quick. We didn't think of anything else, and we were kind of in between nouns and verbs. And so whenever that happens, we seem to do number bases like we did twice last season. Remember that? Nobody noticed. Nobody said anything. We did 2 polls on number bases for the mice last season, and the result was the same for both. Base 8 won both times.
I thought we did a different poll for the writing system to have a different potential base.
No, that was a different one. Yeah, we actually, we just completely brain farted. And it was because we did a number-based poll super early, just like we're doing now, well before we were ready to actually come up with numbers.
And then we did it again.
Yeah, then we did it again.
Boy, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was. Nobody noticed, though, except for me. Anyway, so our number bases, yeah?
Yes. And so the options were based on some research.
Yeah.
I had all sorts of notes and research and little drawings for David because we, again, want to make sure the options we provide we're going to end up being happy with. And so we decided that we would count claws because they would, as they, like hold up their finger, a little claw will come out, as cats do. And
just like Wolverine.
Why not? And so we have 4 options, right? So like base 10 and 20 are based on the same idea where it's, base 10 and 18 rather. 5 claws on each of their forepaws, and so that would be 10, just like us. And in case you're wondering, it's the 4 digits up front and then the do claw, which would, be extended. And so that would be base 10. I found out, though, that on the back paws, cats only have 4 claws on each. And so, base 10 and base 18 are related because there'd be 5 on each paw up front, 4 on each back paw. Base 12 and base 20 are related with the same idea, that a lot of cats are actually polydactyl. And so that means that they have an extra digit. And so that gives them 5 digits plus a dew claw on the front paws. And so that's 6 and 6, 12 up front. And then if you add the 4 and 4 from the back too, you get to 20. And so this one, by the way, and this was included here, you can see it on the screen, that there are people who believe that the polydactyl cats are more agile and a little bit better with that extra digit. However, that is not at all a scientifically proven thing, but just knowing that people tend to think that it may be to some evolutionary advantage to have the extra digit, and therefore maybe more cats in this world even are polydactyl than on ours.
Yeah.
And so
It's like how Klingons believe the third lung helps them in battle.
you just never really know. You can't prove it. But anyway, also this one was my favorite of the 4 options. Well, this and I guess then base 20 related to it because of my polydactyl partner. And so I was like, this would be like really, really fun to do. Anyway, so I'm ready to give results.
Yeah, it has been a week, Miles. I'm sure glad that you're here with us. Base pi, goodness. I wanted to respond. Beatrice asked what bases have we done so far. Engala, base 30. Base 30.
Mistake.
Yeah. Tapahla, base 6. And Woktiji, base 8. Those are the bases we've done so far. So we haven't done we hadn't done any of these.
No.
So it was going to be a brand new one. The dogs, of course, are going to be base 64 and are not going to have any minimal pairs in their language.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong.
And then I read an interesting factoid last week that to like calculate the precise like size of the universe down to like 1/millionth of a percentage point or something like that, you only need 15 digits of pi. So like when it comes to calculating stuff for NASA, they don't bother beyond like 14 or 15 digits.
I don't think I can go past 5.
Oh, I certainly couldn't, but
Isn't it 3.14569? And then something.
I only get
2 maybe?
I only get up to 5.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness Brian's here. We can start.
Yay!
All right.
Oh my God, I just heard Megan Trainor's all about the bass earlier.
Oh.
And we're talking bass.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a clear winner.
Yeah. By the way, I like that Megan Trainor. She seems very grounded.
In last place was base 20.
Which is too bad. That was a nice, good, easy base. That's what I did for Caston.
It's out.
How many?
We can try it again. It only had 3 votes.
Jeez.
Like it is out.
Wow.
And then tied for second place, no third place, because tied for second place, were base 10 and 18, each with 6 votes.
Huh.
Base
Wow.
12, my favorite, had 16 votes.
Well, how about that? That was your favorite? I thought base 18 was going to be your favorite.
No, I told you base 12 was my favorite, because that means they're polydactyl.
And base 18 means they're not. Base 20 would be
Right.
right.
Base 18 is fun just because 18 is a lovely number. But
I never saw Spy Kids.
who is Junie?
No, I don't know. It's from the movie Spy Kids. Did you ever see Spy Kids?
I did.
You did? Huh.
Because that's the one with Antonio Banderas in it, right?
I don't know. Sounds about right. Either that or it was Shark Boy and Lava Girl, one of those.
No, he's in Spy Kids.
Okay.
Oh. And so that's Daryl Sabara is
Yeah.
was talking about.
I would have thought she
Danny
could do better.
Trejo's in it. I ate his tacos the other day.
Really?
Trejo's tacos?
Where?
At the concert that you didn't go to.
That was what that was?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oh, but wait. No, it was with her brother. That was what Megan Trainor was with her brother in that show that we saw with Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Anyway.
Okay, we are having 8 conversations, which is wonderful for live streaming when
Yeah.
none of them are connected to what we're actually doing.
I'm gonna add one more thing. Antonio Banderas was the voice of the Nasonex bee.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yes. Base 12. So we'll just make a note of it. We're not ready to make numbers yet, but we'll make a note of it somewhere.
Down on the number chart.
Yeah.
Or buy it.
Yeah. You know what? You know what might be a fun, easy thing to do is let's just do this. Why not? I don't know why I never thought of this before. There's no reason that I had to stick with this chart. You know. There. 12. Now we know. And we'll do, I guess, I don't know.
20?
Anyway.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
I was going to say something else. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Did you want to run the live stream idea here? And then we can do a poll on like Discord? On Patreon?
Why do a
No,
poll?
just ask.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how many people we have here right now.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But for patrons, we suddenly realized, belatedly, that, well, one, David hasn't changed the calendar to July. But two, that this weekend would actually be kind of perfect for us to do the live stream for patrons. Like this Saturday is in 2 days away from now. And we're like, we've been trying to give you all more advance notice, like really trying. But now all of a sudden we're like, but this Saturday would be perfect. And we didn't think about it until just now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, should I put a little poll up here? Should I
Yeah, sure.
just
why not?
ask? I like doing polls. So think on it. You have 1.5 minutes to answer.
By the way, I'm really tired. I just wanted everybody to know that. I'm really tired.
Okay, here we go. So this Saturday, as in July 9th, patrons, should we do our patron-only live stream? You can, of course, vote even if you're not a patron, because this poll is to the YouTube crowd.
Yeah.
But, we're hoping enough patrons are here to get a feel of whether or not that would be too
Yeah.
soon.
We also theoretically, if we get members on YouTube, you can watch the patron live stream too. We haven't gotten any yet. What's the equivalent of 1,000 for 120? My math people in there. Do that.
Mateus, that's a good question. Due to events, it would not be the last Saturday.
No, it wouldn't. It'd have to be the 23rd.
Yeah. Just a second. I'm going to double check our calendar before we throw that out there. Because we don't have... Yeah, it would have to be the 23rd. We have been trying to do a last Saturday more predictable thing, but that just doesn't always work. Where's that base number converter? Is it this one?
But he says indefinitely yes, because 23rd is Pride in Berlin.
Oh, then perfect. From base 10 to base 12, convert. So that can't be right.
Put 0 there. Okay.
I don't remember where you got that one.
Oh, it's cleave.
Do I type cleave?
Yeah, I don't know. Like here, just convert to base other than 10, and then
It's not rapid tables. I tried that.
no, I know. We'll just do that. There we go. Cleavebooks.co.uk.
Oh, I spelled cleave wrong.
Yeah, like it's been here since 2000, I want to say. And this was, by the way, a perfectly fine way to create a website back in 2000. There was nothing wrong with this. It's beautiful. It has all the information you want on it. The colors can be seen, you know.
Okay, I got the same answer here. I don't get it. What's 6B for?
What? What are you talking about?
This.
What did you put in there?
I was seeing what 1,000 in base 10 would be in base 12.
Oh, yeah, but 1,000 in base 12 doesn't mean anything.
Oh, we need to clear all. So I need to put 1,000 here?
Yes. 1728. See, that's what they've been saying.
1728. Okay. I did it backwards. So that other chart I was judging,
Yeah.
and it was just as good.
But we're in base 12, so A is 11 and B is 12. I'm sorry. A is 10 and B is 11. A is 10, B is 11.
Because 10 needs a single number.
Yes.
Okay. So I would want to enter from base 12 to base 10 to make sense of that. That's how this table works.
Yep.
Okay. I am, woo.
You know, I've used this website so many times over the years that I feel like I owe it to Cleve Books to go there and see what they do. Pages of puzzles, look at that. Calendar
That
models,
sounds-
look.
Oh my God, you know I love my calendars. I don't think they're the kind of calendars that I want.
All of these are three-dimensional.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, that is. I was so confused about that A and B.
Look, this is for like doing crafts. All of these are three-dimensional models of the conventional cutout, fold up, and glue variety.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's lovely.
And look, they've updated it for 2022. Somebody is keeping this page up to date.
It's still looking like this. That's.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's a dictionary of units?
And look at this. This is what we did in the old days to try to prevent, you know, the web crawlers. This is an image, and then the image resolves to a page. This is great.
80 specialist calculators to cover most needs. I don't even know what mensuration is.
I bet our British friends do. What on earth is mensuration?
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
I'm guessing.
Interesting.
Maybe they pronounce it mensuration.
For cost of living indexes?
Hmm.
Ooh. Oh, well, this is exciting. Okay.
Yeah. There's lots of cool stuff here.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to look at the poll. We have fewer votes, but there's a clear yes.
Yeah.
And since Pride is on the 23rd in Berlin, we definitely want to avoid that. So it's going to be this Saturday, folks.
Woo!
So if you are, oh, this is exciting. Find out. Yes, find something.
Guess. So if something was worth $100 in 2009.
It says limit inputs. I don't think you can do the dollar sign.
Okay. Probably okay. Well then.
Oh, take out the 100 from 2009 and put the 100 in like 1935.
But I wanted it. I wanted to know what something that was $100 in 2009 would look like in some other year.
You may need to clear all.
I don't think this is working.
It does not want you to know. Well, gas price sure is heck is not $3 now. And I was when I was growing up, it was so not $3.
Yeah, it was less than $1. It was. I remember it being 75 cents most of the time.
Jake. Oh, Miles says maybe like boxes of side links and stuff, and perimeter and such. I'm gonna look up.
Oh, Dark Horse says it's always been about $3 adjusted for inflation. That's interesting.
It's just a fancy noun for measuring.
That's
So the measuring of geometric magnitudes, lengths, areas, and volumes.
needlessly obtuse.
That's it. Wow. Okay. And yeah, good call. There. Oh well, I'm excited to find more inflation calculators because I always find that super interesting. To just see like when somebody talks about like, you know, costing 60 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're ready.
Wait, you're saying 75 cents in like 1987 or 1989 would be worth $3 in 2020? Is that true?
U.S. 1989. 75 cents to 2022 value. Oh, that's $75. I want to know 75 cents.
You got to put the cent thing in there.
Amount 0.75. Calculate. Be about $1.77 today. So, because I remember when I actually got a car, there was a time when I was paying under $1 per gallon.
Yeah. I mean, me too.
In California?
Yeah.
Rural Missouri, it makes sense. California?
No, yeah, it was like 75 cents. I remember the first time it went over $1. It was in the 90s.
It was a sad day.
Yeah.
But anyway. Okay, so now let's get.
Anyway.
Oh goodness, Mateus, I am so sorry to hear that.
Does Denmark have good butter? I would have bet on.
We can find out this year.
I would have bet on the UK. We surely can. By the way, we're going to be in Sweden and Denmark later.
Which I'm very excited about. I've never been to either.
Either by. We're also going to go out to Iceland for a day, so we'll hit almost all of Scandinavia.
Just gotta get to a couple more. Okay. Hello, CJ.
All right.
Yeah, where are we going now?
Verbs.
Ooh, there's a whipped butter in Sweden. Yes.
Hold on a sec. Did we not finish this?
What do you mean? No, we finished it. We only needed one example. We just needed to show that if it's borrowed,
got it.
the H can appear. Because that was the only way we were going to get it, because any noun marked for class is going to have a final proto-consonant reappear. And so we wanted to have like a clear example of where the H would happen. Mateus, you gotta get us invited. We will be in Berlin in a second if we get invited.
Yeah.
We travel for talks.
Okay. So here is what we have. Verbs come from a non-finite verb form followed by pronominal prefixes followed by a tense element. Makes it look like all the pronouns in the tense element are suffixes in the non-finite verb form.
So essentially the pronouns were prefixes to the tense element.
Yeah.
And then they all got squished together. And then this note below it is this need we realized was not as needy
Get rid of it.
as we had originally thought.
Okay. So, we need to come up with a verb. Maybe ideally one intransitive verb and one transitive verb whose meanings are basic but are also not likely to be used for derivations.
Can you say that again? I was reading comments. I
Yeah.
swear I was partially listening, and I saw the smile after you said can't be confused with derivations, which means there's something tricky going on.
Well, it's tough to come up with one. I think that sleep is good for one, and of course we're talking about cats, so that is a good place to start.
We could start our own, like hoax, language hoax here, where it's like cats have 50 words for sleep because it's so important to them. They have a nap versus a full sleep versus a, oh, it's sunny and I'm just so warm I may as well close my eyes, versus a...
Okay. Push could work. No, because push could sometimes be used for causatives. Don't want to do something like listen at the moment.
And we are just looking for verbs that we can run these through, or are they going to end up potentially being inflection?
No, that's the thing. They cannot be inflection. We don't want them to be used for inflection. We want basic verbs.
Do you remember? Bless you.
Thank
Do
you.
you remember when I said I didn't hear you and you didn't repeat yourself? I was not being cute. I did not hear you. And so I was trying to figure out what we were actually doing.
I don't see why they wouldn't meow. We still cry. Oh, well, actually, how often do we adults make baby noises?
And I Love Lucy, she does quite often. Exactly. Okay, I do like Miles suggested, like to lap up, like the way they drink milk. Or water, really. They're not supposed to really drink that much milk. That's a total human thing.
Oh my god.
Smash. Like to crush.
Let's.
To need.
That is ambitransitive.
Yeah, it is. Do you want an ambitransitive one?
Well, let's throw it in there.
What if for them it has to be transitive? A.
Kind of like crush, mash up. I don't know if groom would be basic.
Or to lick would be.
Yeah, but I don't know if that would be based on a word for tongue, you know? I was hoping for something that was going to be basically verbal.
Open or close?
Ambitransitive is like eat in English. You could say I'm eating versus I'm eating an apple. You can't do that with devour, which is transitive. You can say I devoured the apple. You can't say I devoured.
Oh, chase.
Chase.
To swat at.
I actually kind of like chase as a basic verb for this. Okay.
We're good.
We're good for right now. All right. So, let us first come up so that we have something concrete to work with. Let's come up with forms for these. Start with sleep. No, CJ, the opposite. I devoured an apple is right. I devoured is wrong.
And by wrong, it's just, it doesn't sound grammatical in English. Do you want to pull up the IPA charts on the screen to remind people that we're going for the black and red consonants in our roots?
Yes, so we're looking at sleep, chase, and need. We're looking at sleep first.
And so, happy to take root suggestions from the crowd, and we can vote on it if we get multiple or whatever.
Yeah, black and red.
But yeah, black and red for both charts. Ignore all the green and orangey, gold, brown, yellow, whatever that is.
Yeah, these roots should also be small.
They should be small. With phonotactics, we said we could have consonant clusters at the end, but only if they were, I swear we did this. Okay, here we go. They could be CVCC.
And then,
But if there's a consonant cluster, it has to be an approximate followed by a nasal or fricative.
yes.
Aren't you glad we actually write these out now? Because I always forget, like going from language to language. All right.
Oh my.
And so for to sleep,
That's we don't have as a proto. Remember, black and red, black and red. If you are,
that could be an ash though.
you think he intended that?
I don't know, but
Brian, did you mean an ash as opposed to an OE? That is an AE as opposed to an OE? Because AE could work. Let's take a look at what that would look like. Hang on. With AE, it would come out as car. Car. Souts is what that would be.
Ooh, that's kind of fun. Oh yeah, devour doesn't have to be used with foods. You can devour a book
Yeah.
without actually eating its pages.
Let's see. Let's go with monosyllabic for the moment.
Oh, that comes out as cuts.
Close
That's really funny.
comes out of the cuts.
Ooh, and then, okay, so but like Miles, we could reduce that to ha or ach.
Here, we'll throw it in just so we can see what it looks like. But, by the way, in case you want to see something that's a little similar to what I'm imagining, go to Hindi. In Hindi, a lot of the verb roots are very, very, very small. And then they get this other stuff that happens after it.
I think you should try JELN. Yum.
Okay.
I don't remember what happens to these.
Yeah.
That could be sleep. What are you
Goodness.
doing?
All right.
I really had no idea what would happen. I forgot that the L drops out in those situations and
Yeah.
elongates the vowel, and then we have that nasal.
So let's,
And then Magpie put nah.
which would come out as nah. Let's, actually, I want to make sure. I mean, it would just come out as nah, right?
Do we want to vote?
Yeah, it would come out as nah. Let's do some eliminations here. So I am going to eliminate aha right now. Yeah, Jake, it does seem to be iterative. Ugh. Are you eliminating one?
I'm saying them in my head.
Na, yeah, Katz, Sauts, Kar.
I think I like the bottom three the best.
All right. Let's do it. Katz, Sauts, Kar.
All right. And the cats one is just really funny because it's what do cats do? Cats. Should our word for sleep be?
And of course, there is no F
Oh, can you bring that
at
back?
any stage in our
Sorry.
language.
We have cats. And okay.
There we go.
And then David can read these one more time so you can hear them.
We have Katz, Sauts, Kar.
Beautiful job. Hunt would be ambitransitive because you can just be hunting,
Yeah.
but you could also like hunt something.
I bet Bibleridian has a whiz-bang transitive verb. He's just waiting to drop on us.
Whizbang is kind of a fun little worm. Okay, so here's the deal.
Yup.
I need a refill.
Uh-huh.
Gotta get my coffee in for the day. And so I think I'm just gonna leave while the votes roll in. Oh, we're getting close. I'll wait till this poll is decided. Then I'm gonna go get more coffee.
Mm-hmm.
An anime fan, do you want to say these one more time? Just because I don't
pronunciation. Katz, Sauts, Kar.
Wasn't sure if that comment, because you know sometimes it's timed weird because the delay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that came before or after, so. Oh, we have a tie. Come on, like last three voters.
Oh my goodness.
Holy guacamole.
Wow.
This is like on edge.
Oh my god.
Ah! Okay, somehow our viewer number changes. But there was at one point one more viewer. So like if that one person.
No, I mean 21. Oh.
But at one point it was 22. So,
Oh, I see.
do I just end it and then we vote?
There we go. See, Bibleridian chimes in with defenestrate. Which would make sense for cats. Yeah, end it. So we end with a tie between Kar and Katz.
So we either have a runoff vote or you and I get a vote. Do you remember back in the day when you used to cheat and vote on your phone under...
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have voted for. Katz, Kar. I kind of like Kar because you
it
can...
sounds more sleepy to me.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
that.
Especially at the end of the word like that. It's like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of my friend's Instagram video today with his dog snoring.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, that's the sound.
Let's do... I actually kind of like Jake's idea.
Oh, one of the other ones means nap.
Yeah, so...
A small sleep.
And then,
So we're going to use cuts for that?
yeah.
Oh, Miles, David was not being shy about saying he was voting on his phone. But that was back when we were like multiple devices to access the chat, which is now on the screen,
Yeah.
before YouTube Studio was working this way.
Oh, yeah.
And so, no, David openly told people he was voting.
Incredibly fraudulent. Okay, so I'm thinking about getting Jessie a surprise present. And I was wondering, which insect do you think that she would like more? Crickets, ants, or centipedes? Um, all right. Well, I really like this actually. So now we have at least two different words for sleep. Um, well, okay, let me tell you this. I've seen cats nap for just a little bit, and I've seen cats sleep for several hours. So, let me tell you, they do sleep. I don't know about, sleeping for 8 hours, but, I figure the way this is going to work, especially if the cats are going to have to do battle, is that you would constantly need to refresh your forces because it's like, a cat would only be active for so long, what do you got over there? What do you got over there?
Something just for me.
You do not.
I don't share.
Whatever is yours is mine. She's got a... Oh, we'd asked about this on the stream before. And I've already forgotten the word. Remember? There's a word for an Asian pear that was an actual word.
Oh, they told us like 2 weeks ago. But we have another one.
Yeah.
I thought I'd bring it up because I need a little snack while we talk about cats.
Of course, she's reading a paper on parasitoid wasps. Absurd.
That sounds frightening. Is it nashi?
Was either that or the other one started with a K?
Oh my goodness, this one's really good though.
So I took biology in 9th grade. That was really the last time I dealt with it. So.
That's right. So you have a Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I guess technically I learned more about biology and phonetics, specifically the biology related to articulation, but beyond that, no. But yeah, that would have been when I was 14, and I am now the opposite of that, 41.
You sure are.
Yeah. These little devils are good.
In grad school, I took a neurobiology class.
In graduate school?
Yeah, it was a doctoral level.
What on earth is the point of that?
I was fascinated by it.
Why?
I counted it as an elective. I got to dissect a brain.
Why? Why?
Aren't you fascinated by the brain?
No.
Oh my god, it's really fun.
It's really uninteresting.
So, are we ready?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not so important that need be iterative because we don't super need an ambitransitive. I just threw it in there.
Sorry, we don't need an ambitransitive.
Wow. That was evidently a lot funnier than we all thought it was.
Listen, I taught for a long time. I'm good at laughing at my own jokes in front of other people. While they all stare at me and go, oh my. Thank you, Brian.
Upgrade Bray says, how many legs do centipedes actually have? That sounds like the setup for a joke.
And also Abby thinks the neurobiology thing was cool.
You know what I did as an extra class in graduate school? I took a class in the education department on education policy. It was just 6 people. That was really cool. No known species of centipede has exactly 100 legs.
See, Miles, you get it. Because students don't, I tell you what, they're not always ready for the good jokes. And so, yeah, I learned early in my career to just start laughing and let them know it was funny.
But, so yeah, we can talk about this one being, you know, potentially, it could actually be reduplicated. But chase, though, very standard. Let us come up with a form for chase. Oops.
Okay.
This is the monitor.
All right, if I have to share, I should hand that to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to eat them all.
They're really, really good. Like this
This
one's
is better than-
exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Take that, Bibleridian.
No. My pet centipede, who I taped extra legs to make sure there were 100.
Yeah, I got a guy.
Z.
We don't have you.
Oh my God, Brian and I were on the same path. But we could do an O.
We can do an O.
Zon.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be just zon. I think.
ZOM, Raz, and Barn. Okay. ZOM, Raz, Barn, Zoom. All right, let's see what these come out as. Okay, ZOM, zon,
Like it.
R-A-Z, rats, B-A-R-N, bar, it's a geminate, Z-E-W-M, zin.
I like it, Brian. Okay. I like the top three.
How many have each of us had?
I don't know, but I feel like I'll take the little one and let you have the last big one.
Hey, Jonathan.
Because I'm kind that way. All right. And hello, Jonathan. I like the top three. What do you think?
I want to, for the moment, eliminate son because I really like it. But I want something that ends in a consonant.
Okay, so that means "se" is out too.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, can we change that M to
We're working on verbs now, Jonathan.
result, like a T or a K or a H or an H? No, wait, the H would drop out at the end, or would the H drop out at the end?
Let's find out.
Ooh, two. Okay, I want to put that on the table.
All right, I'm actually willing to just say it's two.
Okay, then
Right.
I'm willing to do that too.
Okay, so
Because then that gets close to Brian's Zoom, because you get two, and then you get the.
okay,
I like it.
we're gonna ignore need for the time being.
Oh, Jonathan, like we ever know what's going on. I
Yeah.
just, okay. We're going to ignore need, you said?
Yes, for right now.
I think we should celebrate having our first two verb bases,
Yes.
roots.
All right.
So, celebrate good time.
Pico.
Co-
No, celebrate with Copico. But you started in the wrong key. It's
Thank you.
it's celebrate with Copico. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. Cheers.
Cheers. It is indeed Copico time.
Ooh, yeah, and I need it. I did not get as much sleep as I let on. Last night. Hmm. Copico, the code for cool. Full spelled with K's.
This time it wasn't my fault because I know I didn't kick the covers off last night.
We didn't have anything to do with that. All right. So, at one point in time, we had cat, mouse, chase. All right. The problem was there's no marking on these things, so it's not clear what it was. And so, cat, mouse, chase.
Cat did.
And then, essentially, it's something like he, it, did, or he, it, does, did, does, whatever. And where we've written he and it, it's going to be the class markers.
Okay, so can we scroll up just a tiny bit to see the full purple note? Oh my god, I have my own document. What am I doing? And we wanted both. We wanted subject and object marking. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got to mark
Okay.
a subject, object, and indirect object. So really what we should have done is thrown in ditransitive give here as well.
You mean a ditransitive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised actually, like, you and Carl wouldn't say, ditransitive or something.
You know what? You just wait until Carl and I team up and change how we pronunciate all these things. You're gonna rue the day. All right. Okay, so we need a base now for give. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, among other things, but like, really what I want to do right now is talk about this. So we can do a number of things with this. So number one is going to be what tenses are we going to have? What aspects will the auxiliary change for verb type? So which types? Will it distinguish voice?
So, if we do something like mark Telicity, which would give us the sort of lative and essive differential readings. If we did that, would it make sense? Wait, now I always have to remember which one is A-Telic and which one is Telic.
Let's pull them up for everybody. Let's talk about Telicity a little bit, so that everybody can be on board. Not Wiktionary, come on. Okay. So
Telic means it's yeah. Okay, atelic means you can
yeah, this one
stretch
isn't.
it over time.
Yeah, this one isn't so bad though. John built a house for a month because he could have taken an entire month to build the house. But the idea is that a house is either built or not built. Instantaneously, it changes from not built to built. And so you could say John built a house in a month. Okay, that one's just really bad. I don't like that. This is much better. John built houses in a month is bad. John built houses for a month is good, because built houses is atelic. It means it's unbounded. Telic means it changes from one instant to the next. Like he shattered the window. The window goes from not shattered to shattered instantly in terms of grammar. Whereas like, say like he shattered windows for while he was a kid, that's like something he did continuously. And it's an unbounded activity. The only bounds are what you put on it. So that's what telic versus atelic means. Telic means broke. Atelic means it did it a bunch. And then there's whether it has endpoints.
So here's something I want to discuss. Semantically, would it make sense to say if it's atelic, it could have both a sort of present and perfective reading, but if it's telic, it would only have a perfective, because you don't talk about it happening in the moment because it's done in the moment. And
Yes.
so when you talk about it, it's actually already done, so it's
Yeah.
it's just perfective.
Yeah.
And so like having those telic distinctions where if it's present, it's always going to be a telic interpretation. But if it's like some sort of perfective situation, that's where you actually have different markings between telicities.
Yeah. And Brian, it's not quite the same as the preterite versus imperfect in Spanish, because for, of course, like you're talking about like dormir, verb for to sleep. You can use that in the imperfect and in the preterite. It depends more with how you're relating it to other information in the clause. So I was sleeping when something happened, versus like I slept last night. That would just be the preterite, because you're treating it like a bounded thing that happened. Like, so you could say like I slept in my house, for example. Like, you know, I don't know, yo dormí en mi casa. I slept in my house. And you'd use the preterite there, even though you kind of were sleeping for a time. So with that, like the preterite versus imperfect, it's more about how you're treating the information. Telic versus atelic is more about the real world implications of the action, I guess. And by the way, there's this is actually really interesting. We have this example from Finnish right here. So you could say like I wrote the article versus I was writing the article. In Finnish, there's really only a past versus not past distinction. So kirjoitin means I wrote in the past tense, but you change the case you put on article depending on whether it's telic or atelic. So kirjoitin artikkelin with the accusative, it means I wrote the article and it's done. But kirjoitin artikkelia, it's artikkelia. That's the perfective. Not the perfective. The partitive. Thank you. Mm-hmm. The partitive means I wrote the article, but I didn't necessarily finish it, or like I was writing the article. So that's where like the distinction is punted to the nouns, as opposed to the verb.
You know, it's unfortunate that the next set of examples deal with shooting a bear, but this is also interesting that you can do the same distinction for like, because you can say like I shot the bear or I shot,
yeah,
you know, and he died versus he didn't. And so that's interesting too, because that gets expanded.
Ammuin karhua.
Ooh, I love this sentence. The atelic form expresses ignorance, i.e. atelic is not antitelic. It just means we don't know if it was finished. I love it.
Okay. So I really, really love your idea, Jess, because essentially what we would have is different auxiliaries that would be kind of like a telic auxiliary and atelic auxiliary. And the interpretation would be tenses. By the way, that bear example is very famous. One of the people who made it famous is a professor of mine, former professor of mine, Masha Polinsky, who has written a lot about antipassives and uses the term more broadly than I think a lot of linguists would. And so she claims that, for example, English has an antipassive, and that an antipassive is I shot the bear versus I shot at the bear. That the second is antipassive. Yeah. I don't think many linguists would say that, but that's her. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jonathan. But it'll be nice to see you in Amarillo, Texas in August. I assume that you will.
There, yes.
Yeah, I assume that you will be there. First weekend of August in Amarillo, Texas, where it might dip below 100 degrees one day or another. It might.
Roll my eyes. I mean, at least it's West Texas, so it's not as humid.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be, would it? But it's funny that you can actually make friends with tumbleweed there.
You get hit by it, yeah.
Oh. And it'll follow you home. It's just like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland at the end. Beware of hitchhiking tumbleweeds.
It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they're not really weeds that are tumbling, but like entire little trees hitting the side of your car as you're just trying to drive down the interstate. Yeah, I've driven through Amarillo in a horrific windstorm that brought a blizzard and almost got snowed in there. It was great. It was great.
Very briefly, the canonical antipassive is the opposite of the passive. So in English, which is nominative accusative, you could say, I ate an apple, or the apple was eaten by somebody. Takes the object, promotes it to subject, and the agent is shunted off and does not need to be expressed. In an ergative absolutive language, the antipassive is the opposite of that. So you have I ate the apple, I is the ergative, apple is the absolutive. This promotes the ergative to absolutive position. And so it would be like, I ate. Apple is demoted and could be expressed with some other construction. I ate, namely the apple. That's why it's called anti-passive. It's like perfect symmetry, which why it gets really confusing when you start using it for other things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about then. This is really basic. Let's talk about potential telic auxiliaries and then atelic auxiliaries. So, I mean, do is one, but...
I mean, I saw what you were doing there, and I approve of it. Auxiliaries. You put the X there instead of a C, and you were just going to combine the two words.
Oh.
It's kind of sexy. Look how fun that is. Now, we'll never remember what that actually means later, but it's a very fun word.
Wow.
So the telixary.
Telixiliaries. Or would you do it with a voiced one? Telixiliaries.
I want it to be voiced.
Yeah. All right.
Although in this case, we would only have one telixiliary, right?
We're
just brainstorming ideas.
Yeah, we're just brainstorming ideas.
I'll allow it.
And so far, I've provided one idea. Everybody else, the field, has provided none.
How about to happen or occur, like something that's
That's
it's just bum.
That is telic. So ideas for that.
No, that was like some root that just means occur.
Come on. Kind of write it down because there's no bad brainstorming. But
he's very judgy.
Well,
during brainstorming.
You could also do something like this. That could be it.
Um,
Dark horse, that's cute. We were looking for the meanings, not the forms.
I do like that. Yeah, you go ahead and just elbow.
I'm gonna shove you off the piano bench. You keep doing that.
Okay, so like, what are some classic verbs that are like prototype of Telic activities?
No, let's see actually examples of Telic verbs. By the way, if you're gonna make a suggestion, say which one.
To snap or to break.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of things that like it happens quickly. To sneeze. Whereas yawning is the opposite,
This isn't.
because a yawn can take a while.
I mean, I want examples of Telic verbs.
All right, we got create. Ooh. Fall, kick, mate.
Fall. That's Telic?
If you fall quickly. The atelic verb provided here is play.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
Oh, good old activities and accomplishments. Actually, though, like, to eat, once something's eaten, it's just done. But it can even take a while to eat. But to bite would be really fast. Bite versus chew or eat would be the other atelic.
Boop.
Oh, the little nose boop.
I don't like fall. I don't like fall because it can happen.
I guess it depends on what you view as falling, though,
pretty
because,
dark.
like,
No.
like if a leaf is falling, that could technically be floating rather than falling.
Float. It's good. Doesn't really make sense for cats, but it's good. Small, land, jump.
Well, chase, oh wait, we don't want it to be, chase cannot be our,
Yep.
never mind. I ignore that, please. However, kneading can take a while. So if we don't use
My
knead up
God.
above.
Right.
What else?
Always use lie. Ignore is really interesting. It won't work for this, but ignore.
Ooh, stretch. I like that.
Negative. I do like stretch.
Stretch is a really good one.
Watch is interesting, implies something different. Okay, we might need to. By the way, we might need to separate these into transitive versus intransitive.
have different auxiliaries for each.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we might need to take a bunch of these.
Cats like to snuggle, right? Could there be something meaning hug or snuggle?
Yeah. That's right. This could also be because we're doing stative verbs, so any adjective, if you think it makes sense, would work.
About the yowl, you know, like really long, drawn out kitty yell that you haven't fed me yet, and she does it all the way down the hallway, trying to get you to follow her so you feed her. That's about it. So that would be a lick, I think, because it goes on until you feed her.
I think we're actually good for atelic. These, I don't know if we necessarily have it.
Haven't landed on what we want.
Yeah, I'm gonna color some of these red and red. Sorry, go ahead.
To hit.
Yeah.
So something, and I'm thinking of the hit like I was sitting on the ground and an acorn hit me, you know, like it bumped me or something.
I'm the ones that are red are transitive.
I think you annoyed a dog with your cat yowling.
Perfect.
So I would love to hear your thought pattern right now.
I'm wondering if we have enough, and if this is. I think this is gonna work.
Could you be more specific?
No, I really couldn't. And then I need both of these. So this is going to be
And if we wanted to do potentially what I had said, the A's would need two different forms, right? Whereas the T would only take one form. And by one form, I mean like within a set of examples, we would have T and A in both sets, but then also like T A1 and A1 and A2, where like one is happening now versus
4 different ones.
one is past.
4 different ones.
pounce isn't intransitive for you?
It's ambitransitive. Wait.
I can't pounce someone. I can pounce on someone. But like for me, pounce is
I guess I was thinking
just intransitive.
I guess I was thinking of pounce on. That's right, Brian. But no tenses to speak of. Or anything else. No, also voice. We may need to talk about that. Okay.
Because see, pounce and jump for me would be the same, which is
Okay.
because in terms of transitivity.
Yeah. No, it was.
And that's why I was like pounce on. I get like adding that to have like the special verb that actually means, because for cats, I feel like that's something that they sort of a regular activity they would do.
Let's do the Atelics first. I was having a hard time with the Telic ones. Okay. Cat, mouse, chase. Was chasing. I really, I think stretch is the best for Atelic intransitive.
Yeah,
All right. So let's
totally.
yeah, let's do that. And let's put that in bold so we know it's done. I'm going to get rid of the black. So we have, it's essentially the cat was chasing a mouse. Kind of like this.
This one is hard just because obviously Chase gives
Oh my
the
God.
semantic.
Mia is here. Hi, Mia. Sorry. Yeah, I know. But it's like, you know, imagine we
But
had
But I also feel like stalking in terms of
talk.
just like
Means like you didn't quite
watching
do it
and
yet.
like waiting, right? There's like that watching and waiting type thing where it's like cats do that a lot, whether or not they're hunting or whatever. It's like when we define that verb, I think we just need to be careful to not just say stalk. If that makes sense.
Okay, so I could see snuggle for this as well. Like he was in the process of doing it. By the way, he is just random here. I could see need as well. So, because yeah, I'm
Like of them, I actually think I like need and stalk the best. It's just like stalking to me when I think of cats, it's not necessarily a hunting thing because they will, like when they see something, they hunker down and get very still, and it can last for a long time as they watch or track it, right, with their eyes.
Yeah, I watch my most recent problem with it is this, that stalking seems to imply that something is about to happen that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So that was my issue.
Okay, in that case, I like need or rub, I guess, the best. And for cats, Either, really, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna throw stock down there. I get what you're saying, Brian, because it's like that's the other. If you go to the World Lexicon of Grammaticalization, there was one entry that I found really perplexing at first, and it was using love to mean that you hadn't done something. Not, I think it was like, or like almost did something. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And so I was reading the example from this language, and it was like, the idea was that if you say that you would love to do something, it implies that you haven't done it.
Yeah, it does. That's interesting.
And so it's like stalk. It's like if you say that you're stalking it, that implies that you haven't done anything to it. So that
but
is.
You might be, yeah.
But you might. And
I actually really like that.
Yeah. So we'll get rid of that there. Let's just do need. I mean, it's a cat language.
And that feels and snuggle to me like I'm the one that suggested it, but it also feels like that would end up being a potential derived verb form.
Yeah. All right. There we go. So done there.
Yeah. Yeah, prowl is, I think, similar, perhaps.
I'm having a harder time with this.
Yeah, that's actually, I was like, let's start there, because we only have like 2 or 3 options, but that's actually not easy.
I think we may be experiencing a bit of semantic, what do you call that? Incongruity with sleep and jump. Jump being that, the idea that it's instantaneous, it's happening, but sleep and jump are semantically kind of incongruous. As sleeping is something that's very inactive and jumping is something that's very active.
This is why fall, if you would accept that as telic, would be an interesting one. Cat sleep, he fall.
Well, of course, he's fell asleep. But then that's like the opposite. They're so in sync in English that it might be tricking us to think that it's good. Let's something else intransitive. Sing. Yeah, you know what? It's good. It's good. You win.
I was going to try to give you some more verb options, like
Nah, we're done.
To swipe or, like to just kind of move your paw, like, or to flick your ear.
You know what?
Twitch your nose, like to twitch or flick.
I like the idea with what Cupcake Parade here is because the fall seems something that's like involuntary. And of course, cats famously always land on their feet.
Purposefully do their things.
So it's like he hits the ground sleeping.
How about lunge? I was, just thinking of how they turn all their falls into some movement that was totally intended. Okay. I like bite.
I like pounce on.
I go for it. Ooh, wobbly cats, that could be fun. Is this something we should search without doing it before? Oh, I thought it was just like cute videos or something. Is this?
No, it's kind of sad.
That is sad.
All right.
It's gonna be. I sent David a video the other day that I found on, I don't know, Instagram, Twitter, I don't know, but like the cat like was rolling and like rolled off the edge of the table, but then tried to catch himself by like reaching out with both front paws between the table and the chair, and like held it for a hot second. It was pretty good.
Let's see. What we got? Hug, talk to, some other transitive verbs. Let's see.
Yeah, I like pounce on.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, Abby. Now we have a word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Scramble.
So, give is the only ditransitive verb I can think of. And
Classically ditransitive. We could turn transitive verbs into ditransitive meanings, but classically ditransitive. Give is, I think, pretty standard. Send, because you don't just send something, you're really sending somebody something.
yeah, we run into a little Telicity problem here, and also a little verby problem here, because like give is probably going to be the auxiliary, and is it telic? I mean, it seems like give is probably going to be telic, but then what is an atelic ditransitive?
Interesting. If what you're suggesting,
Mm-hmm.
because well, in English I can say I sent you a package. The way we do it in English, we don't know if you actually got the package,
Mm-hmm.
right? I feel like they would end up having to use a whole different construction for you didn't get the package, but I sent it. If we had that distinction, like where like
Well, you wouldn't use the ditransitive. I think ditransitive automatically implies success.
ooh,
You'd have to just use the transitive. Say, gave it to, I sent it to you, but you didn't get it.
right? Would that end up being atelic then, because there was no known? It's still sending, perhaps.
Mm.
We don't know. No success. Oh, I forgot to text "Have a good trip" for. Okay, sorry. I was just trying to think through this. Oh, so throw is like to hand somebody, to send something, to throw something. Like we can turn these into ditransitive meanings if you say like I kicked you the ball or I threw you the pencil. We can definitely do that in a lot of languages. But like it is hard to find like this is going to be a ditransitive verb and like semantically and syntactically it's going to pattern that way. David on his phone again. I never take time for myself during these streams. I never leave to go get coffee or bring up snacks. I never do any of that. All
I don't understand the question, anime fan.
Oh wow, so many stickers. Okay. So let's talk this out.
Maybe there's no, maybe this is a place there is no ATLIC one.
Okay.
Um,
Can we walk through that? I have Kopiko shard stuck to my finger, I think.
well, okay, so here's the thing. It's what?
Kopiko shard.
Ooh,
And then it got in my computer and I was like, no.
better eat that.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So Miles, we're trying to figure out what to do with ditransitive because we've got an intransitive telic auxiliary, intransitive atelic auxiliary,
Yeah.
transitive telic auxiliary, intransitive telic auxiliary. What do we do with ditransitive?
I think that there's only one solution, and I think it's this. I think that it has to be the case that it's telic. There is no atelic version, and so if you wanted to say, if you want to express telicity or atelicity with this, you have to use telic. You have to use this, and you have to use a different construction for the indirect object.
I like that.
All right. Okay.
Because what we're suggesting is that if you have this ditransitive situation, it's semantically going to be bound because there's a giving that is happening. And then when it's done, it's given. And if you want it to be unbound, then really what you're stressing there is that the verb is, taking time, it's maybe not completed, it's not actually achieved, in which case it's just a transitive verb, it's treated like a transitive verb in the atelic.
Yeah. And then the order, by the way, is different here and here. What do you think should be our subject, direct object, indirect object order? Kind of want to go to walls for that.
And so Magpie, whenever you're talking about verb valency, a lot of them can actually be what I'm going to go ahead and just call multivalent, because it depends on how it's used in the overall clause structure for whether it's understood as being transitive or intransitive. And a lot of verbs fit that pattern. So a lot of verbs can be used ditransitively. It's just they're not the prototype to the point where they would end up being an inflection, meaning ditransitive. And so give was the route that we were thinking.
I don't think that they're...
I think they, with...
maybe oblique?
Also, a lot of times they only call them the second object.
Let's see what this is. Where's the chapter?
If you click on that. Okay, so that one goes indirect, direct, down here, natha. That one goes water person, so direct, indirect.
But this is verb initial, this is verb final.
Right.
Oh, but this is interesting. Verb changes places. Note that word order is ignored in this chapter. That word order is what we want.
Just a second. To be. Okay, well, I think they're just talking about, though, calling it the double object construction. What is the secondary?
Let's look at secondary object. I think this is just...
That one's hard, though, because I don't know where the subject goes, but it's the indirect is going before the direct, which matches the example up there.
This is exactly what we have. In these languages, there is no object case marking, and only the monotransitive patient and the ditransitive recipient are indexed on the verb. Oh.
So the subject is not.
No, the object is not. Wait.
The subject is not. The
No, the subject is
monotransitive
not.
patient, the ditransitive recipient.
The opposite verb indexing, the only dynamics are
No, but they have the agentive marking there. That's.
This is the agent and this is the recipient. So it doesn't have the mixture.
Oh, okay. So it's only, I see what's happening. Okay. And so when it's just transitive, you do get subject and object marking on the verb. When it's ditransitive, you get subject and indirect object marking on the verb.
That's interesting. I don't think this helps us. So honestly, I think that we just go with, we know that the subject is coming first. In all of these, subject, object, this is subject, and so it's just a matter of this versus this. Cat, mouse, present, give, or cat, present, mouse, give. Or two different orders. So this one and this one, like I did it.
As a possible suggestion, I mean, we can obviously keep hashing this out here. Would this be something that could be appropriate for a patron poll?
Maybe, yeah. Why don't we go ahead and do it?
Because really what we have here is we could have matching orders on both sides, where it's indirect, direct object, that order, or matching orders, direct object, indirect, on both sides. But I think what you were suggesting by highlighting that was that we could have like one word order before the verb and a different order of these little particles before
Yes.
the tense auxiliary.
That's correct.
Which then gives us some more options.
No, it's three options, because I wouldn't want the opposite of this,
Okay.
where it was cat, present, mouse, and he, him, it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do that. So then in the meantime, something that I want to to, I want to just have here. Is there a way that we can put really small what the classes are?
When you say really small,
So like we could see them all on the screen. Actually, I know what we could do. It's a little unorthodox, but here we go. Copy that, and then oop.
you have to zoom if you want to make it smaller.
Oh, that's the thing.
Okay.
Only we're going to be able to see this.
Okay.
So basically, I just wanted to be able to see this. Have that right there. So we are looking at mataralaka wa. Actually, it's going to be ga. Wa ba ya ha.
Are you looking at it in terms of thinking phonetically, how most of them would end up coming out?
Yeah. And did we decide on an epenthetic consonant and vowel for this language?
H is our epenthetic.
Epenthetic consonant, but we don't have an epenthetic vowel. I think it should be schwa, right?
Which then is going to harmonize.
Yeah. Which will surface in a number of different ways in modern language. Put this on. Okay. We went too far. Because essentially what we want to start off with to kind of like honor this idea in purple here, what we're going to have is verb root, essentially a comma, and then we're going to have class, and then class, and potentially class. And then auxiliary. And then these are going to bracket together first, and then they're going to be added. So there might not be a vowel between these.
Yeah. Okay, so also going back to this though, would you want to do what some of those languages do where, like some of the examples that we saw in Walls, where it would be he, him, give, and the it drops out when there's a ditransitive, and so you only get, like, to essentially say, like, one option is you can get up to 3 class markers to indicate all participants. In another option, you're going to have at maximum 2 class markers, and when there's a third involved, you mark the recipient rather than the direct object.
Maybe, and this is why I was thinking of using this for things well beyond it. So in other words, this could be a generic way to get a third argument onto a verb. That could be a beneficiary. So in other words, like, just to give you an example, cat, mouse,
Acorn.
Cat, mouse, talk, he, it, and so on. All right. This is the cat talked to the mouse. It happened and it's done. Cat, mouse, possum, talk. He, it, or he, him, give, whatever. The cat talked to the mouse on behalf of the possum. But you know what? No. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's actually marked. You could still do the same thing.
Right.
Just with a different, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to throw that in as a potential too. So this
So let's
yeah.
type out some ideas here so we don't forget.
Hey, so we have subject, indirect object, direct object for both.
Mm-hmm.
Subject, direct object, indirect object for both. Then we have subject, indirect object, direct object for nouns. Subject, direct object, indirect object for, what do you call those? Class markers?
Yeah. I love the vowel harmony you're doing here with sodio, but we don't need O's after those S's.
Oh my goodness. It's embarrassing.
But sodio.
Sodio. Okay, and then the last one would be only mark subject, I don't know, or give.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by mark, again, this is just those class markers. We would still have all three nouns present before the verb. So I guess technically you could then split that into two options, because do we then do indirect direct object before the verb, or direct object indirect object before the verb?
Yeah.
Because the class markers is ignoring the other half.
And then you might not see all of these examples on the actual poll, but
this is where it's going to start in terms of where we're going to take it. Because the other thing that I'm really curious to do is, really looking at the different options that are going to happen. Because with indirect objects, most of the time, it's not a hard and fast rule, but most of the time they're going to be animate, which means we're really saying it's probably a class 1 through 3 noun. Direct objects can go all over the board, especially when we bring in this beneficiary style potential, which I really like, by the way.
Cool.
I think that's really cool semantically what we could do with that. But that also means it opens it up for direct objects really being class 1 through 9 at that point, because the verb will determine that. But all that is to say, I'm curious to see how some of those class markers kind of play with each other in terms of what can be squished and how.
It's gonna be a difficult little phonological problem. Let's see. To answer Miles' question, we're always at the beginning going for a basic word order, a default word order. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, even though there's going to be marking, that marking isn't going to come to the end. So it's going to be hard to just put off, to not make assumptions in your mind as you're hearing the sentence before you get to the end of the sentence, and consequently it'd just be a feedback loop type of thing where it's the listener's going to make assumptions before they get to the end of the sentence, because we get bored, so we do. And then the speaker is going to know that the listener makes those assumptions implicitly, and so pretty soon you're going to end up with a canonical word order. And certainly you'll be able to switch it, but it's probably going to come with an intonational change as well, at least with no marking like this. That's my 2 cents anyway.
Um,
Yep.
I like this.
All right. So do I. Let's get rid of that. We got a few minutes.
I really like stock.
Yeah.
As a negative auxiliary.
AT-lic.
AT-lic, yes.
So let's go. Did we? Oh man, did we already delete our words?
Yeah, you deleted them when we decided it, so you can't undo because that's the only one that was left before you typed a whole lot.
It's all right. I got it. There we go. And then so we got stop more. And both of these are transitive. SWAT / bat. And the other thing that we're going to have to do here is
Thinking in the opposite is maybe to pass, meaning like to pass by. For T-lic, yeah.
That would also be transitive. Huh. That's actually I guess
Make it green, maybe? Something that stands out. To spit? Spit that right out.
But that would be transitive. Hit that.
I was trying to think of some intransitive possibilities.
So was I.
But then spit, then made me think more transitive, because it would be like, oh, I had it in my mouth, but I spit that right out. Oh.
We actually did hiss as a negative
For
the
tapatla.
tapatla.
Yeah. Well, here we could have, growl. Or growl at, because cats do that sort of noise. To leave?
Yeah, you just walk away from it.
Oh, to die, to kill. Wow. To scratch or draw blood for negative T-lic.
Hey, Logan.
Hey, so for some good 5 minutes. Oh, for a T-lic to flee.
I don't like that. I'm going to delete this because we don't want to double up there. Kind of like that.
Also push.
Yeah, push. That'll be here.
Yeah. We could actually make the argument for SWAT or BAT to also be atylic, meaning specifically to play with, you know how cats play with their food before they eat it. Thinking about watching a particular cat with a lizard. And they, you know, bat around, play with it before they... And so we could actually mean, like, if you're playing with something, you're not doing anything with it yet.
Yeah.
Evade. We need, like, verb just mean, like, close my eyes. Just not gonna look at you.
Wait a
Close
minute.
my eyes at you.
I don't think flee would be atylic.
You flee in the moment, but to run could be atylic. I feel like you would flee from something, and in that moment, I mean, I guess you could be like on the lam for quite a while. Sneeze.
Could also, I mean, we could also explore the possibility of just having a negative thing.
Just like a negator.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's a good one. The maybe underneath this, put another option, and that's just like negator, straight up negative particle, because this would, I think, be a good place to pick up next week.
Yeah.
And I don't want to forget that that was on the table.
Oh, good for you, Cupcake Parade.
I do like Howard though. Wonder. I think that's where my brain is stopping today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good time.
Yeah, we do have a minute to fill. So I think that we should fill that minute with something meaningful. The July is wonderful. Those are some of my all-time favorites, including the tomato frisbee.
He's talking about the drawings featured in the LangTime calendar that I made for him for Christmas. And what's really funny is, like, as we're dealing with yet another language where I'm going to struggle with some pronunciation, is the top is a 3-part frame where it's like me struggling with pronouncing tpakla.
Oh, that was
Yeah, that word. And how in live chat people turned against me and were like, now it's Jesse's turn. And it's like, really? Really? Do you want to, with hack, say to like hack / literally cough up?
Well, the question mark there was it being atylic. I was thinking of, you know, a cat doing it for a while. You know, the kind of thing they do.
It usually goes on.
Yeah.
It's rarely one hack and done. In my experience.
All right.
Okay. But now we can stop there.
Oh, the patron live stream this
Saturday. Yes, we will announce it on both
Saturday at noon.
Patreon and Discord. Thank you all for being flexible. We apologize for the very short notice, but we do look forward to spending our Saturday morning with you. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, hope you all have a wonderful week and stay grammar, and we will see you
All right.
next Thursday.
Bye, everybody.